Right. Let's see what's here. Paco. Gotta be. Fuck me.
Do you know any other place?
Leaves a chick. If Hanson suspected her, she'd be swinging up there too.
You still got 2 working kidneys, right? That's
Maybe.
right there.
Who knows?
Thing is, I only have one now. Had to sell the other one to pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with it. Well, the way they do the cars nowadays, it's not going to be. Those guys are going to be fucking out of business soon enough, anyways. You're just going to go fucking look online, put your fucking Facebook glasses on, and just see the car you want. Got some, there's like leftover tomatoes and stuff from the BLTs. I can do a copy or something like that. Can they get mixed with the burger after I cook it off? Or you want them just on the side or something? See if you can. You got the phone? It might be, I don't know. Yeah, just see what it says. Well, I think the meat could help with bean flavor. After I can drain it and everything and then put it in there. I can keep it on the side. I can put it in a side thing and heat it up too. It's not a big deal either way. And we got those wrapped, so you could just use the wraps I got too. That's what I figured. Yeah. I cook the beef off, degrease it, yeah, and then I mix it up, yeah. Well, that's what I think that's the stuff that was at work, because it was like meat with like soy binding, which was like, which soy is beans, legumes, shit like that. Yeah. Well, that's why they have like Carvana now. So there's shit like that. And then even your dealership, they probably have like only a few guys there. That's not as many as there used. I mean, you probably would used to have like 10 guys or something like that. Now it's probably like 3. Well, yeah, when you got like 20 different dealerships, there's a whole different protocol and stuff like that. But for like a single dealership, you usually got like, for salesmen, like 3 to 5 or something like that, maybe. But like back in the day, you had like fucking 10 minimum. Way more paperwork, way more time wasted getting it done.
Who hasn't bet yet? Last bet! Last bet! Aaron Wayne, which one's he?
Aaron? Orange shorts.
And the others?
Will Corey, Dogtown. Born and bred, baby. Bets are an even hundy. One in, last chance.
Putting my scratch on Will.
That be that. It's over. Wayne's Backale. Too damn strong.
Nice not to have to take a dive for a change, huh? And fuck you, Will.
Aaron Wayne's?
Yeah. Autograph seeker?
Name's V. Fred sent me.
Wow. Old man said he got someone. I'm sure he was lying.
Look, V, got a thing I need to take care of. Dangerous people involved.
Need tough hustle to watch my back. Won't run from trouble. Interested?
Okay. Gonna help. Need deets to start.
Scab base, clinic, home to a ripper, Demir. Met him back in my days running with the animals. Our crews were tight, did biz together. Fight I got coming up's important. Should see Demir before I hop in the ring. Need you to help me with the ladder.
Listen, this is Demir. I mean...
Think I...
Okay.
Cream fucking new.
Hey.
Say what?
This TikTok is literally.
Is he aware that she's like a super powerful god, or no? Because that would be relevant in the court case, right? Just like how...
Beauty.
I mean, you would...
Yeah.
You can't hurt, like, he's not physically capable
Yeah.
of hurting her.
Yeah.
Tiny little
Stick it in your pussy.
You need to establish people's power levels.
My dick.
Based on scenarios. Like if a child attacks you as an adult, then obviously you have incredible power over the child, and it can't really hurt you.
Nothing.
Anything to the kid. So that obviously is going to play in the legality of it.
This is where the jury comes in as well, because if the kid slapped you on your leg and then you kicked them, because they were like, I'm literally going really full right now. Kick them in the chest, they fly across the room, they get like multiple damage or something. Then the jury saw that video, they would just be like, this is too much. And they go, like it's not that. He was slapped on the back of the head. He's like, yeah, slap. And the jury were like, that's hilarious, you're wrong.
This where you tried to defend yourself.
I'm clearly not looking at a potential jury right now. Like, I'm just hoping juries aren't retarded, but yeah.
This guy actually didn't see the movie, so I don't know exactly what it about God. But he's clearly in pain as a result of this rip that Captain Marvel has put on him.
I'm glad he actually acknowledged that the dog was in pain. He's supposed to just be like, no, I deserved it. Whatever is what it's doing. Like, this man's clearly in pain. It's like, thank you.
Look at how flat that ass is.
Someone said that here's some lady police for you. Assault with a deadly weapon, because that's what her powers are.
Yes, absolutely assault with a deadly weapon. Like I think it's going to need to make that thing to shoot up right next to kill him. Like, they right up in a stream. It's like, imagine, like, these are real world scenarios you can compare this to. Like, if she had a gun, and she used that gun to threaten his life, you could just swap out the powers for a handgun.
Yeah, so it was an assault defense because he asked him to smile. Come on.
Yeah, I forgot. Shoot him. Right in the chest.
I mean, it's only 6 in the back of the head.
He's clearly in pain as a result of this grip that Captain Marvel has.
Take his gun away!
Handshake.
Here's a proposition for you. You're gonna give me your jacket, your motorcycle, and your
Also, if we're halfway through this,
Trying to pull back.
I hope because there's no defense for him stealing his shit, surely, because it's not even relevant to whether or not it was self-defense. And there's a big argument like she's trying to run away from him. As he literally flees into the store looking for help.
An extortion. Let me look at the extortion thing. The practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats. She's literally committing extortion right now.
Oh, definitely. She's framing it as I'm allowing you to purchase your life.
This time, one friend.
Oh, she's like, I give me your shit, or I will physically hurt you.
What, no smile?
Okay, so why do I think that this may qualify as assault and battery? Well, battery is a criminal offense involving the unlawful physical contact or touching of another.
So is what he did fair under this definition?
I don't think so. I think because we have enough precedents in society, I think any lawyer, any normal person would say, if we're going to use this definition for battery without applying anything contextual to it, then every time you come into contact with somebody else, that's battery. What, you want something and you brush their hand while giving them your credit card? That's battery. What, you bumped into somebody accidentally when you're playing in line someplace? That's battery. Someone taps you on the shoulder to say hello? That's battery. I mean, it's...
I'm curious, this is the thing. If we're really allowed to do this, like if I poke drag and move me, like I don't move me in factory.
Like that's ridiculous. That'd be... can't just make contact with somebody. Yeah, but I mean, battery is a criminal offense involving physical contact that we yes, but look at that. Considered offensive. Also, it's very important to note that well, I took that enhancement to the jury last week ago. You are not allowed. Now, this will vary by state to state, I think, to some degree. But you're in Arkansas. You cannot use your handgun. You can't use the threat of deadly force or deadly force to defend your property. So, even if somebody is the law as it currently stands in my state, so pets, if someone is beating the shit out of your dog, you can't legally shoot them. If someone is killing your chattel, you can't. You can't. No, you can't. Well, sure, if someone's beating my dog, I'm sure. I don't care. Like that's what the law is. You have to come up with something that's
Okay. Waiting.
You can't just shoot them. It depends how you wound them. If you shoot them, just using the gun is using deadly force. So even firing warning shots.
This way.
If they're like literally beating your animal.
City Center post-apocalypse, so Pacifica on steroids.
Pacifica's a rotting corpse.
But it's violence to property under the law. So you have to come up with some other method of getting your dog away that doesn't involve deadly force. If you want to stay, legally protected. There are circumstances where assault, like if somebody sets fire to your house while you're in it, you can use self-defense, obviously, because that's immediate, bodily, potential bodily harm to you. If somebody, generally you have property that counts as like living space, and people damage that while you're in it. Yeah, absolutely. If there's actual credible threat to your life, but in a case like this with Captain Marvel, that map, I think you really have to stretch to get a jury to say.
This is my thing. You might be able to stretch it semantically, but no jury is going to agree with this. You'd have to be insane.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's like, I literally just took this 6-hour class like a week ago for my state. Like, I would love for you to tell me where I'm wrong. So,
people keep saying I'm going to be...
What is a deadly force?
John Wick.
What is deadly force? No, once you shoot the gun, that's using deadly force, because you're shooting a gun. That's what the law is, man. I got
It does sound like Rags is just repeating what he was told. It's not like
we have legal precedent. People have been sent to jail for firing warning shots at people who have invaded, personal or private property. Because
go ahead, spit it.
Gun is using deadly force because it's a gun.
But you said you're allowed to shoot someone who's broken into your house.
Animals fix my fights. Angie,
For the most part.
Animals Alpha,
What do you mean?
she decide which round I go down. Chip in my head lets her do that.
What's the exception to the most part?
Inner ear disruptor.
If you had a scenario
Flip the switch, I flop over like a fish stood on his tail.
Because I don't want to give a blanket always yes, just want to say generally yes. There can be scenarios where someone is in your house, but they are not in any way a threat to you. For instance, most of the time when the police get the call of somebody being found in someone else's house...
So, afraid of other rippers botching the job. Want the chip removed by the guy who installed it.
A drunk goes into the wrong house. Like, this
It wanted done today, too. Wanted to be a boxer, it turned me into a punchline. I take a dive now, nobody want to get me another fight.
I was going to say probably a child.
It's my last chance.
Let's make sure it's not wasted then.
Into your house, and you were to shoot them dead, you'd probably be in some trouble there potentially. So if a 5-year-old kid broke the glass of like a window or something and climbed into your house and then you shot them dead, you'd probably be in pretty big trouble.
If a 5-year-old breaks into your house, like throws a brick through the
Not yet.
window or whatever, breaks it, crawls in.
But I'll figure something out.
Fuck off!
There's just no way.
Yeah, like I said,
Or die. Your choice.
I'll just see how he applies this.
Generally, people break into your house, the scenario that you think of, we've got people there to rob you and they got crowbars or whatever. Yeah, generally, yes. To defend your life, harmful or offensive.
And battery is distinct from the separate crime of assault, which is the act of creating the apprehension.
I really is a gun.
What is assault? Assault is any credible threat or attempt to create apprehension of harmful contact. Interestingly, he does say, I think psychopath it was that most people mix up assault and battery, and I'm definitely one of those people. I didn't realize that assault was this. I always assumed assault was actually hitting people. Incredible threat.
Standard practice in the law that applies to every state. Arkansas is actually a duty to retreat state, but it's not what generally people think duty to retreat is. It's not. It's defined. I have no problem with the concept of duty to retreat as it's legally defined, essentially.
And look at this definition. Assault is any credible threat or attempt to create apprehension. Well, so
this is why we have jury test, right? So it's like,
what was the threat and what was the apprehension?
If I had a chainsaw and I was bringing it down on your head and you roll backwards to avoid it and you have video of this, and you that was assault for sure. If I had my hand just above your head by like an inch and I was patting you and I went to do a 2-inch pat and you rolled away and you're like, that was a threat, and jury would be like, you're a fucking joke. There's not why the jury controls this, right? These are just guidelines to set up the prosecution/defense, and then the jury has to decide whether or not it's a fair
Yeah, it's odd because, I mean, from her perspective, there's anything to her.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Make decisions!
Hell, if it was to go by as long as it did, I don't know what to be in jail by now. It's like, it's a little bit of a
battery plus jurisdictions. There's the battery, which is prosecuted by the state, and then there's also the portable battery, which is when people accuse someone of wanting to sue them. In Michigan, as a state, which your standard ground law applies without much shooting guidance and not. Like I said, like even if it was against the, I saw a dude like beating up my dog, and like, dude, I gotta go. I'll shoot him anyway. Moving to a in that situation, unless that was like, my dog was going to die in a second, then I'd probably just look at it and be like, yeah, get the helmet, get it on, right?
Yeah, after the get it, and then you start going around beating someone's dog, and they shoot your ass with a rifle. It's going to be tough for you to garner some big favor.
Excuse my state, there's also the battery, which is what you would accuse someone of.
Take you to that.
The best is that we should apply to them. For example, field codes in this course, find batteries and unlock the use of force or violence on charges that goes for bears.
We're fucking screwed! Come on! I mean, come on! Don't let me fuck up!
This right here, yes, maybe he's going to try to stretch the definition.
He's gonna stretch the shit out.
Stretch the yeah,
that's banner. The second element, which is that the defendant did not use the states or in the defense.
So he's saying, as long as you prove the dog is not acting in self-defense, which, yeah, you can say that, and what he did could be that is possible as a possible threat, then...
No, I'd say the only thing that they even have a chance to do it is just running with medicine.
Yeah,
because you're saying that the jury's going to consider that US. They're going to be really friendly.
People try to say he didn't touch it, he's going to cover that in a second, because it's just so...
Looking like a chef!
Downside is that it makes you, like, extremely favorable profile shot of the dog. Like, he should have Facebook picture. Just keep it that in the fucking the slightest of the imagine. If you have to satisfy the battery statute, it's done without consent or in the harmful offensive shade.
Take your eyes.
You
hear?
Counted, but it never gets through court unless you have extreme circumstances, such as there's an old person in staircase and you touch them and they fell over and died. I thought that was still right, like then jury was the unit was that, like, yeah, you killed them. Like, I was such a no, it's not murder, it's just...
Motherfucking jacket!
Wait, in fact, we learned very early on in law school about a so-called eggshell skull theory, which is that if you make contact with someone...
Oh, yeah, so there you go. The idea that there are people out there that if you do a tiny, tiny touch to, you can potentially kill them. But the thing is, with this again, isn't applicable. Captain Marvel. The jury would never allow this to go through.
The principle that states that the frailty, weakness, sensitivity, or feebleness of a victim
I told you not to come, man.
as a defense in a tort case.
Yet you do.
That
And with
won't apply to
protection.
Captain Marvel.
Who the hell is this?
Wouldn't it be the reverse of anything? She's super powerful.
Yeah, that's the thing. She can't be harmed in
Relax.
anyway.
Just here to make sure Aaron leaves in one piece.
Someone said
You
eggshell
don't get
response
it.
theory.
If Angie finds out, I'll end up in the bay. A hole in my face, cement shoes on hands and feet.
Yeah, like,
Demir,
again, we'd have
you're
to
the
be
best
at least
ripper in this
fair to
part
say
of
we would
Dogtown.
be a
Angie
weird
won't touch you.
in this cold case.
Just help
Fragile
me with the
skull.
chip, please.
In the video, she
You got
electrocutes
her.
it with her hands, so we'd be like, she's
Fuck!
It's a part of his suit, and then
God
they have to analyze
fucking
the suit
damn it.
and find out the voltage, and they find out it's just
Fine.
I assume that.
We do it quick.
Yeah, I assume
Chair,
that he would
let's
know,
go.
because all this court stuff would happen after the events of the movie. In which case, everything that they'd know and they'd get they'd have all the info that essentially the audience would know.
Listen,
Because if they didn't, then that
you need
would
to
be
be sure I
it
wake
would
up
be a
after
fair
this.
court case.
Can you
Everyone
wait
just
in?
frail as the dog.
Please?
As a skull that is as thin as an eggshell, you're liable for those damages, even if the kind of touching that you do would not even hurt another person. But if it's enough to hurt someone with a very unusual condition, what we call the eggshell skull, I don't actually know if that is an actual medical condition or not, that's enough to make you on the hook for the damages that you cause as a result of your unconsented to touching or battery in this case.
And she asked him for the handshake. I think he's talking about the map thing. You can't. Because there's no way he's talking about the handshake that she offered.
No, yeah, I actually
No
do
way.
think there is a chance. I'm pretty sure he's about to justify it. I'm a little lost right now. I'm confused what point he's trying to make. I'm assuming he's about to bring it around.
Yeah. Like, if I was the jury, I'd be like, I raise my hands, like, Judge, question, are we talking about him touching the map for that second, or the handshake she offered him?
The back.
Cause as a result of your unconsented to touching or battering in this case. And almost as important is that the contact requirement with another person is satisfied even if it's just touching their clothing, or if you touch something that is immediately connected to
Sausage and
that.
pepper.
There we go. We've come full circle. So, if I was to poke Rags in the eye, that's very different from me poking him into the contact lens, because it's not his eye, but it would still potentially do the exact same kind of damage. And then you can extend that forward to glasses he's wearing, or a gas mask that I fucking poke right through. Then he's about to say, like, if Rags was holding a rope, I don't know, and I pulled it really hard without you realizing, I could really do damage to your arm. If you were grasping it hard.
Yeah, you just pulled me down. You just pulled me down, and I'd fall on the ground.
And so he's right, but fucking hell. We're talking about the map here? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's like, is that law real? Is the spirit of that law that you have to convince a jury about, is that really gonna be in one of those situations where you're hurting people's immediate articles? The jury could be like, oh yeah, that's battery what you did. Like,
That's the thing, that's why we actually get to have a valid response to this, because we could potentially be in that jury.
yeah,
So if you punched someone and you punch them through their shirt, now technically you haven't made contact with that person. Yes, that's because the shirt is so connected to the person. Punching them through a garment of some kind is enough to satisfy the...
you're gonna be the slimiest fucking lawyer on the planet to be like, well, she was holding the map, and he did touch the map, so that's battery.
This is that's what I'm saying. You can do it, but what jury is going to accept that?
Like, what kind of a human being do you have to do to make that kind of an argument?
And a human being.
This whole video would be one of those things where he's like, "This is dumb," but an asshole lawyer would argue this in court.
This is not what he does in his channel.
It's like, no, I'm the asshole lawyer. She's good.
He usually, like, from what I understand, there's some people in chat saying his whole channel's bad. Like, I wouldn't go that far. From what I've seen in his videos, his whole thing is he's supposed to try and explain to us what would eventually happen in a court of law as a result of blah, blah, blah. But this video, he seems desperate to try and defend her. I don't know why. Like, why is everybody doing that?
And remember, this would be a 90s jury.
Yeah,
this wouldn't be a modern jury. I don't think there's really a difference. Yeah, I don't think there would really be any difference between the two that much. But remember, this took place in the 90s when people hadn't been infected with this social justice, feminist, equality, diversity bullshit.
Imagine being the defense lawyer for this shit. You wouldn't believe your day job. You'd be like, "Are you kidding?" Oh. Right.
I'd be like, "I'm not taking this case."
No, you take that case. I would take the shit out of defending the Dawn. Like, you can fucking bet.
Yeah, defending the Dawn, not defending her.
No.
Someone pointed this out, and I found this really depressing. He said, to make this even worse, this guy is training the next generation of lawyers with this line of argumentation.
Well, what's good about that is to be aware of how the law can be used instead of it sneaking up on you. You need to be aware that there are slime fucks out there that do this with the law. But he should be teaching them how to dismantle this bullshit instead of how to come up with it.
So the top comment on his video is, "Damn, I've been assaulted and battered much more often than I realize."
Yeah, man, you're missing out on all that sweet, sweet legal money.
Oh, yes.
And through this, I couldn't be a lawyer because I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to do this. I'm too principled and morally good to be a lawyer. You know, I couldn't do this kind of shit. I would be in law school listening to this guy talk, and I'd be like, I can't do this. I can't morally bring myself to do this. Isn't right. What we're doing isn't right.
I would have to be like an extremely principled lawyer and be like against this guy at every turn, because I couldn't put up this argumentation that he's doing, because this is disturbing to me. Because like the fact that you were actually defending her actions of assaulting and stealing his property, that's really messed up, man.
Especially when it's the Dawn.
So connected to the person, punching them through a garment of some kind is enough to satisfy the touching of a person's environment.
That's of course we all agree with that. Like the idea you can punch someone in the arm when they're wearing clothes. Yes.
And crucially, that extends to things that are immediately connected outside of the clothing as well. So, for example, if someone was walking down the street and they were holding a cell phone in their hand, if you went up to that person and snatched the cell phone right out of their hand, well, even if you don't actually make contact with the person's hand or their forearm, the fact that they were holding the cell phone and it fell out of
he didn't do that.
And yeah, this is the thing, that scenario, there's a case to be made in some way, shape, or form. He folded over the Babs slowly, and she ended up being the one that pulled it down, like,
That's enough to qualify as battery for the person. And if the victim saw you coming and was in apprehension of that contact, then you'd also be guilty of the crime and tort of assault as well. That's the apprehension of the physical contact. So not only would that count as destruction of property, it would also qualify as potentially the...
Is there such a thing as, like... Because he's going to go into... Yeah, you get why he's setting all this up, right? I don't know if you've caught on yet.
He's trying to say that the scenario with the map is like the ones that he's...
Well, that, yes, but because the main criticism of her is the fucking brutalizing, and he's about to make the defense for that in relation to all of this. Like, I'm being facetious, but he's essentially trying to set up a self-defense case here.
I guess. It sounds like, he's really going to bat for Captain Marvel.
I just, like, is there such a thing as, like, say, for example, you slapped me, and then I fucking punched you in the face, you fell over, and I punched you again and again and again and again. Is there not a case you could make, or your lawyer could make, that I was, like, excessively self-defensing myself, if you know?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Self-defense is generally, you can only respond with an appropriate level of of return. You have well, I guess you could say it's it's a fairly mundane word that's actually generally used legally for it.
Well, because I was going to say, like, she's a god alien. Like, how do you...
You can only use appropriate force when responding to something. Like, the lowest minimal force that you can use is generally what's accepted. Like, if someone annoys you, you can't kill them.
It's like, I think that's a fair law. I agree with that one.
God, if that was legal, some of the people I met would be dead. It's that appropriate portion or something like that.
Is qualify as potentially the crime of assault and battery. We see that in the clip, the man on the motorcycle invades Captain Marvel's physical space. There was no reason for him to stand up from his motorcycle and walk the 10 to 15 feet away from the motor.
She was looking at the map.
Yeah, there was a reason. He wanted to talk to her. The reason was he wanted to...
He makes that explicit. He says, if I'm going to help you, the least you can do is give me a smile. He's made his intention clear. Verbally. He wants to help it. I'm only a criminal.
Can you believe he stood up from his motorcycle? He had right it into the store.
That's why we assumed he said that as a normal thing for the dog to have done. There was just to sit permanently on his motorcycle. For him.
Into Captain Marvel's physical space. There was no reason for him to place his hands on the map or the news.
There. Finished. The blockade is inactive. Kid will wake.
Chip's just inactive. You were gonna remove it.
True, but...
Chip's buried in the inner ear. You'd have to get invasive. Receptor muting safer, less risky. Chip's dead. Aaron will recover quickly. Good work, Demir.
Ah, fuck. Look, Benji, you know how it goes. They come in, guns, fists ready. What was I to do?
For now, we'll talk later. There he is, our little Aaron. Wonder what he's dreaming about. Apparently used his brain for once. Didn't come alone. So, we gonna have a problem?
Like to solve problems, not cause them.
Same. Pragmatism. Like it. Like others to like it. Now, got any idea who you're protecting?
A former gang goon, out to make amends.
Amends, huh? Far too late for Aaron to make any. Aaron was our heavy. Good at it, too. Busted debtors' legs, set house fires. It's who he is. But wild violence like that needs honing, nurturing. So we invested in implants, training. Aaron owes us. We just want him to pay off his debt. Need him to throw the Vince fight, that's it. And we'll be even.
Fight of his life, it's supposed to be. And you want him to take a dive.
Aaron's mixed it up a dozen times till now. Most of his fights were fixed. It's nothing unusual.
What'll you do? Just flip the switch, watch him flop?
Mean the blocker? Never used it. He always went down on his own, when we asked. It's worked out well for him. Good for you, too. Let it go. We'll make sure Aaron goes down. You'll net 10% of the winnings.
Delivered on a project that was doomed to fail once. Saved my boss's sorry ass. Douche offered me a 10-point bonus. Asked him point blank if his career wasn't worth more.
Your point being?
My point being 20%.
Hardball Merc. Fine. 20's yours. Aaron's not your problem anymore. We'll take it from here. You should go.
Just go. Quick and quiet.
God damn it. I just was wondering if I could get 20%. I didn't want to take the 20%. Stupid video game.
Paper, the captain.
Well, he clearly did it so we can see his face.
Yeah. Also notice that this picture here is the extent of the most violence that he uses.
Yeah, but that is what's the appropriate level of self-defense here? I'd say good gun.
I'd say please go away.
A minigun?
Yeah, please go away.
I'd say
There.
a grenade in the
Finished.
pocket is
The blockade is inactive.
Yeah, reverse pickpocket him and send him on his way.
Chip's just in
her hands.
True,
Now, of
but-
course, no one's
Chip's
going to
dead.
argue that Captain Marvel is physically harmed.
Look,
by this
Angie, you know how it goes. They come in.
Tamir, you can fuck off.
That's not because eggshells here kind of battery. All that
Apparently
is required is the touching of something that is immediately connected to Captain Marvel. And I think that makes the statutory definition of assault.
Yeah, well, the jury wouldn't agree with you. You should know
it's
that.
not assault.
a boxer you're out to ruin. End his career.
Aaron built what he has on our
That's not
Eddies.
assault. How could
He
you
owes us.
possibly think this
Fights
is
things
assault?
to us.
Well, yes,
Before
it
that, he
matches the
did
definition,
other
which
things.
he might be right
Aaron
about
was our
that
heavy.
because fucking
Good at it, too.
a shit ton of things
Busted
match the
debtors'
definition.
legs, set house fires. It's who he
He did
is.
say that.
But
I
while
wonder if he comments on that because we only got 4.5 minutes left, so let's see.
And the fact that he has invaded her personal space, that he's standing.
He's mentioned the personal space thing like 5 times in the last minute.
Yeah,
Fuck you
I
and
don't
your...
find that it's
Sure,
personal
kid made
space.
mistakes.
Does he
Not...
play like an artist?
shame, really. Get him!
A bubble around you that's a personal space. Like it's in actual length.
Space. Let me go through that real quick.
Maybe we should be shot.
Personal space is the. Okay, so this is just from definition.uslegal.com. Personal space is an approximate area surrounding an individual and which other people should not physically violate in order for them to feel comfortable in. It is the zone around individuals which they regard as psychologically theirs.
They regard.
The amount of at the end, the amount of personal space required for any given person is subjective.
What? What the hell are we supposed to do with that?
So going by the definition on, and this isn't the be-all and all, but on
Angie.
US Legal,
What the hell happened?
on the definitions bit, that
Your
is what it
tunes
is.
came by. We,
Let's see.
didn't quite see things
It
eye
also
to eye.
depends on how well you know the other person, the intimate the relationship, the less personal space is involved.
Fucking
the law does not
Angie.
recognize a specific
Never
crime
was
or
one to
civil
let shit
action
go.
based on violation
Not a problem
of personal
anymore.
space per se.
Thanks to you.
However, the law does recognize various actions based on assault, harassment, and unwelcome touching.
Angie told me a bit about your past.
Yeah.
A little ripping's
But
no
like
way to solve all your problems.
Okay, fine, most of them carry.
This ain't about your
I
boxing
think
career.
this is such a stretch.
Stakes are different, you get it?
Absolutely. Statutory
Yeah, I think.
definition of assault.
Guess I know what
and
you mean.
the fact that he has invaded her
Thanks,
personal
V.
space, that he's standing only inches away from her, say, no, he's not. Fuck off with that. Stop with that ball.
Yeah, the implication is between 2 and 5 or something.
Wait, I'm inches away from the moon.
Yeah. A couple of inches for sure. 3.
And it can arguably constitute a threat against her. I think that qualifies as assault as well. So this guy's actions, I think, constitute the harmful or offensive touchings of Captain Marvel. She is suspected. Where would our society be? Where would our society harmful touching? Harmful. This is harmful touching.
This is why it's just better to stick to this at this point.
Yeah, like honestly, I tell people this all the time. Like, man,
What did you
can't
do?
beat pussy, but
Get
Jesus
out.
Christ,
Now.
dudes are so
The scabs will let you pass.
so
I
much
have
easier
this
to just
mess to clean
get
up.
along with and talk with and hang out with, and they're so much more casual and easygoing for the most part.
And besides, they want to
Because
use your
lawyers like this exist. Lawyers like this existing make the world a worse place.
harmful touching.
Get out of here before I take you out! By this guy on a motorcycle. And the thing about being a victim of effectively battery and the apprehension of battery assault, that gives you access to the legal justification.
She ain't got apprehension. Self-defense.
You're fucking cheating! She ain't got apprehension of battery.
Reasonable self-defense was only going back over.
It's telling him to stop.
I said it's
Yeah, at that point, there is absolutely no misconception that can be made that you don't want to talk with this person. It's not just a, he talked to me, he said one thing, and I ignored him. You say, you don't make a thing, and you take a step back. That's very odd.
Они высовывайтесь, берегом! Let's mention that. She her hand. Clearly, the whole feeling just looking at the scene, she's like messing up his arm when she's changing. You feel like a genuinely awful work to make this argument. She's already, no, I think this fits the bill, man. This is genuinely scummy. Because she's like accidentally hurting him. She's doing it because she wants to feel superior. She wants to take his shit. And at the end, she gives him a snide remark about smiling. No remorse. She wants to hurt this guy. That's it. In his opening, he talking about these institutions people have made while considering everything. So far, he's only talked about the moving of the map and then the response to that. Like, what?
My status? No real change, I suppose.
Then it's time we got down to work. Gotta find our missing friend. Add another pair of eyes. Alex, former team member. She's in Dogtown, under deep cover. She'll help out.
Roger that. Got an address?
Longshore Stacks, the dive bar called the Mart. After sundown here.
Got it.
That sensors trained on any potential shadows.
What?